Sorry, I deleted all the files you told me to delete. My job was to design and write software prototypes for individual high-value customers. If they liked it well enough, then a real software engineering team would build the real product. Occasionally, I would run the prototype for a few months while the customer evaluated if they wanted to buy the real project. Now these prototypes are not a lot of code, but they do run with a lot of data. Even compressed, it can be a terabyte or more. Having done this work for years, I've accumulated a small disk farm of past projects, which can be very useful when a customer asks for something just like we did last year, but with a small change or two. The company resisted buying hard drives for this, but it saves me so much time. I ended up buying 1 or 2 a year myself until I accumulated about 10 of them. Figure over $1,000 worth of external drives. Then unexpectedly management changes. New management thinks they can replace old software guy with a cheaper new software grad, and I am laid off, with 2 weeks to train my replacement. Yes, it's blatant age discrimination, but impossible to fight, so I just went for a graceful transition to my next job. Except, I have $1,000 of personal disk drives with old customer data on them. Company insists that no ex-employees may take any company data off premises and all files must be deleted. I don't want to just leave the drives at the company, but they insist I must delete all data before taking them home. So I offer, 1. They can buy them from me too. I will eventually use them for something else, but I can leave the data on them in case someone needs it. Not good enough. New manager insists I must delete all data and all backups before I remove the drives. Okay, that's what I do. 6 months later, I get a series of desperate phone calls. New software grad has been unable to build any new prototypes. Old customers are calling to get old prototypes updated, and new software grad has no idea how to do that. Executive VP is calling to ask what would it take to bring me back to do my old job. Sorry, I've got a new job now. And even if I didn't, I cannot just modify the old prototype because you insisted I delete all old copies of it. If I did want to modify it, I'd first have to recreate it from scratch. And that old series of 6 months apart data we collected is gone for good, no matter what. Sorry, you screwed yourselves exactly like I told you would happen. Hope whatever you saved by hiring a new grad to replace an actual experienced programmer was worth it. Workmate's partner was in this exact scenario. Training inadequate replacement, rude IMO adding insult to injury, deleting all backups over his objections, frantic kiss-up phone call 4 months later. What would it take to get you back? I'd consider it for outrageous eye-watering figure. A few futile negotiation attempts later, they actually agreed to his figure. At which point he said, thanks, as promised, I've now considered it. No. Love it. F, those suckers. I love seeing karma do its thing. $300 per hour consultant. That's such a savory story. I love it. Tastes good with extra salt sprinkles. They deleted themselves and then wanted themselves back after realizing the value of this. Fuck that manager piece of shit that ordered all this. I really have a hate towards managers that say more than they actually do. Fuck age discrimination. It's an ugly thing that needs to disappear, just like racism and sexism. How could they be that stupid? If I were them, I would do the complete opposite. Buy tons of cloud storage and insist you back up every ounce of data to the cloud before you leave. How the hell do people that stupid get into positions to make those stupid decisions? Well, we all already know that answer. That's not even malicious compliance. It's absolutely fair game. Because fuck, that's why. I love hearing these stories. LMAO, higher-ups are so stupid for thinking you're just gonna deal with their BS. I swear companies only see short-term cost saving. They're clueless once you talk about the long-term value you can bring, or how important keeping your employees can be. Good on you, op, fuck them. Ha ha ha, sucks to be them right now. Tell 'em to suck your ass. Slightly diff, but I did audio work for a woman who had her own radio show and she left me hanging one day in the middle of a job. I messaged her a few times to no avail until about 6 months later when she sent me a rude and panicky email saying, "You had no right to delete all our files from Google Drive, etc. etc." Even though I would never do this on purpose, I panicked and thought maybe I had fucked up. I spent a half hour tracking down the files on an external. I had moved house, only for another message to come through saying, "I apologize, it was my new hire." Well, fuck you for not even having the decency to tell me you got a new hire and just ghosting, and double fuck you for freaking out on me for something I didn't do. Lol, freelancing can be fun. Damn poor grad. I can't even imagine the shitstorm he must have been going through lol. This is lyrical gold. These are the kind of stories I'm here for. He's one of the X-Files. HHMM, the old delete your hard work on personal servers that we didn't understand was the basis for your work to make our business to make it work ploy. Too bad for them. Good luck in your future endeavors. What was their reaction after? I would not even say I have copies of old stuff they don't need. Yay, of course it's LOMG gone. You said you do not need them. I deleted him ASAP. Nobody would ever notice you have those things. I used to work with a guy who gave me a suggestion for agreeing to work for someone who you despised. Give them a figure that would make it palatable enough for you to put up with the jerk. Would you consider contracting your services to the old company, during the time frames which would be comfortable for you? At any rate, congrats to you for moving on and doing better for yourself. Mike. Sorry, Op, you're complaining about this. Are the Teslas not the same game? You could offer to sell them the external hard drive so they could try and recover the data. God, all these stories really make me wish I had taken up IT in school. Damn, people are so stupid. Seriously. We all want backups. Bet those customers would have loved to pay $100 for backups of their code. The old save 1,000 to lose millions routine, nice. I feel ya. Cowabunga it is. Pretty sure this is why they invented version control. Screw them. I'm glad you've got a new job and things worked out for you. At this point, who I feel bad for is the kid who replaced you. They got thrown in the shit into an impossible task by bad management when they're probably just trying their hardest to pay off the student debt they acquired by taking a job that underpays them for what they're being asked to do. Meanwhile, because of the managerial fuck-up of how they handled the transition, the newbie is going to be blamed for not being able to do the impossible because of course management can't shoulder the blame when it's this inexperienced twit who obviously can't do his job. Poor kid. Shitty managers. Hope he finds a job he can actually learn in instead of getting thrown in a whirlpool and blamed for drowning. Karma's A.B.C.H. Tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy. Sweet. All the related stories in this post showing me that the total lack of foresight and organization that my current company has is all over the IT industry is making me reconsider being in a band for a living. Cheeky smiley face. That's so fucking beautiful. The capitalism hurt itself with greed. That's not even malicious compliance. That's just regular compliance which was inherently harmful to begin with. Person shrugging. Anyone that thinks college kids are good for a high knowledge position are fucking delusional. College doesn't teach you how to fucking do a job. The top marketing universities don't even talk about relevant topics. No SMS marketing. So good. This is great. You sat the manager down and gave him options and of course he went the cheap, easy, let's not ruffle any feathers right now route. Sucks to suck manager. And told her to cry quietly or leave. I sincerely hope you explained to the executive VP that it was their managers who created this problem in the first place. And I would ask for a 6-figure annual salary and a contract. Contract is to be paid in full if they ever terminate you. I would have asked for $500,000 to unfuck their situation just to see if they'd go for it. I can't believe you even tried to reason with them. They stabbed you in the back and you tried to cover for them with the cops. Well, I'm glad they didn't listen. Hey Op, this should be oddly satisfying. Old management was at fault for forcing you to use personal drives. New management likely never assumed that the only copies of all of this work was in your personal possession. Was it made clear when they told you it all had to be deleted? I find it hard to believe they knowingly ordered all of their old data deleted. This is indeed perfect malicious compliance. But I do feel sorry for the new management if they assumed they were telling you to delete your copies of data they also held. Wow, your job of building prototypes is my dream job. How do you get into this role? Like, did they hire you for that? Or the role just turned into that? Ha ha ha. What geniuses they got running that company. Could they not take a backup from the source that's with the customer? Then work with that.